a team that has gone the longest of any in the NFL since drafting a quarterback in the first round. Archie Manning, in fact, is the only quarterback the New Orleans Saints ever selected in the first round. Parenthetically, Troy Aikman is the only first-round quarterback the Dallas Cowboys ever took. Mel, you have been forecasting for quite some time Shedeur Sanders in this spot.
Just love the fit. I go back to Drew Brees. I see similarities to Drew coming out. Arm strength question, similar size, right? He was going to go to Miami. He didn't because of the shoulder, right? He ends up in New Orleans, wins a Super Bowl, right? You think about where we are right now with Shedeur Sanders in this pick. I remember a few years back when the Saints traded up in the first round, thought it was going to be Lamar Jackson. It was Marcus Davenport, defensive end at Texas San Antonio. The division, the two former number one pick overalls, and Baker and Bryce, in addition to Michael Penix Jr. If I'm the Saints, I'm taking Shedeur Sanders.
Let's find out if that's what they've done. Here's the commissioner to announce the pick for New Orleans.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle, Texas.
Kelvin Banks Jr. is one of the most decorated linemen in Texas history. He was a unanimous All-American as a junior last year. He won the Outland Trophy. He won the Lombardi Award. He was a starter as a true freshman coming out of Houston. He started all 42 games he played. And Mel, he was a huge part of the resurrection of Longhorns football under Steve Sarkisian.
The offensive line's an issue. I just wonder who's going to be playing quarterback for this football team moving forward. You think about where we are right now in that division. Shedeur Sanders is sitting there. You take Kelvin Banks Jr., who didn't have a great year at Texas. Now, he was a little banged up. But there were times where some guys were getting the best of Kelvin Banks Jr. You have to go back really to 2023 to see Kelvin Banks Jr. at his best. Prior to that, when he came in, he was outstanding. In August, he was projected to be maybe a top 5 pick. Like I said, he didn't play up to the level of the talent this year. Was a little banged up, Lou, but the talent, when you go back to 2023, when he was 100%, was in abundance.
Yeah, look, I talked to Steve Sarkisian recently about Kelvin Banks, and he could not rave about this young man more in terms of his competitiveness, how good of a teammate he is. He's a guy who overcomes adversity. Look, he had dealt with some things as far as health in his family. It never distracted him. He was continuously there for his team. As you mentioned, he wasn't 100% healthy, but when he is, this guy is smooth and fluid as water. Big, heavy hands, got a nasty playing personality. He can pass protect with the very best of them, and the New Orleans Saints need it. They're one of the very worst teams in the NFL in terms of pass block win rate in 2024. You're right, Mel. They better find a quarterback in order to protect and someone who can help them compete in the South and in the NFC overall. But this guy's a building block. They needed a player like this, and he is a culture builder. Sark could not be happier and more effusive in his praise for Kelvin Banks.
And it kind of goes with how Mickey Loomis built his team. 8 out of the last 10 picks, Greeny, have been offensive linemen or defensive linemen for Mickey Loomis and the Saints. He understands how to build this team. Yeah, he may need a quarterback, but this is a young man. He's got to play. He's got to finish a little bit more, finish his blocks. But I love, as Lewis says, a building block for the Saints as they look for their quarterback in the future that they have to give at some point.
In our countdown show, Adam Schefter suggested the Saints may be looking to target a quarterback in the second round. Meanwhile, we have an update on the scheduling release. Laura Rutledge and Colleen Wolfe join us. Laura.